Hello, hello, good evening. Welcome to another session of the Gooner Booth. We are going to be previewing the big one. We're going to be at Anfield, Liverpool versus Arsenal. There's a few things to discuss. We've been looking at the press conference. Um, should we get started on injury news, Wayne?
Yeah, yeah, we've got quite a list, Tone. As you said off air, we've Ben White and Norgard are looking likely to sort of be doubts and they're being assessed today. Obviously, the club don't ever tell you what that outcome is. You only find out,
Yeah, I
leading
think
up to the game.
looking on the website, sorry to interrupt you there. What Arteta has actually said
Yeah.
is that so
No,
on
no, no, go on, mate.
On White and Norgard, that's another two that we don't know yet. Again, tomorrow, so this is done on Friday. We have another day. Let's see how they
Yeah, to
evolve,
assess them.
and there's a chance to keep them involved in the game. So that tells me they're going to be assessed
Yeah.
Saturday, as of recording this. And we won't know
Mm.
until tomorrow if they're going to be in the squad. That's my thoughts on them two. I think whilst
Yeah.
we was on it, we was looking at the news on Saka. So we know that Havertz is out. He's out for 2 to 3 months easily, as we were discussing that off air. So
I think it's going to swing towards the 3 month tone. Sorry, I think it's
yeah,
going to be a bit further to that way, maybe. I think
I,
how it sounds.
I think we'll probably have him back by Christmas. If I'm being realistic with a time frame on Havertz.
Yeah, yeah,
I think
yeah. I think yeah.
in terms of Saka, sorry there. In terms of Saka, so he's put Bakayo is
Mm,
doing better, but he will need to be out for a few weeks, unfortunately. On if he's required surgery on his hamstring, it's pretty good news for the Arsenal supporters. No surgery. It's not as bad as previous one. Very unfortunate to pick up because it's another on the other side. It's an action that requires full power from him. Then he clashes with the opponent. He needs to change pace again. He felt something. He will be out for a couple of weeks. So
yeah,
I think that we've got the international break. So no one of the other questions in here says, will he be available after international break? I don't know. Let's see how he evolves. He loves that word evolve, doesn't he? Can
yeah,
look in
yeah,
trees. Yeah, he has a weird way of words, I'll tell. In the next few days and weeks, repeat the scan and see where it's at. So, yeah, I reckon a couple of weeks for Saka. That's
yeah,
news. That's really good news. And then finally, Odegaard, who was a doubt. We don't know yet. He hasn't trained, and if he does, it will be tomorrow. He's doing everything he can. We're doing everything that we can to make him available, but have to wait and see till tomorrow.
mm,
On if it's serious, no, there's an injury there, but hopefully, if everything goes well, we can cope with it, but we don't know yet. So again,
yeah,
that's really the same boat as Norgard and White. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if we're getting the starting 11 tomorrow. We're sitting down on Sky Sports, and Odegaard's in the starting 11. There might be a
yeah,
little bit of mind games from Arteta there.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
so let's see how we go. So that's injuries.
Mm.
Hopefully Odegaard's in the squad tomorrow.
I
Let's have
think
a chat.
sorry to just
Go
before you move, just I want to say about Erdegaard, mate. Is he? I think he going sorry going back to Saka Havertz. We're going to Liverpool. You're going to Anfield without your best pressers in that team. The Erdegaard leads that press, but Saka, Havertz, and Erdegaard are key to how we would press teams like Liverpool away from home. To be without Saka and Havertz. I think we obviously want to see Eze come in. We want to see Madueke do well. I mean, we'll discuss the team that we believe both of us, and if we agree or not. But I think that's you don't want him to be to make himself worse. But Erdegaard is vitally important at Anfield, in my opinion. In terms of the closing down of being what Arteta wants on that pitch. Chucking an Eze in there when obviously he's still getting used to the way we play and press could be one of those things where it might be risky. The problem you got is a fine line between risking Erdegaard and risking Eze. But and look, before you, I'll leave you on a note, Tone, that apparently he has been called up to the national team. So as you
Odegaard.
just said, yeah, I think he has.
Oh,
But this, what I'm saying is this could be where the mind games come in. But again, this is also a vitally important moment because, like we moaned about on our previous one, September internationals, and we lost Erdegaard, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Yeah.
So, it has to be cautious. Yeah, but sorry, you carry on, mate. But I just wanted to put that in there that
No.
it's important to at least if you can have one of them, because again, as much as our players that we brought in are fantastic, them three know the press, know how to close, know what Arteta wants to do, and especially a place at Anfield.
Yeah. No, I agree. Moving on. Okay, so let's start off with Liverpool's Dangerman. I was doing some research on this, and there's at least 8 players, which is it's going to be a tough game, right? We're gonna get into more detail on that. But yeah, who do you think is going to be Liverpool's Dangerman?
Yeah, as I say, mate, with Salah, he's not sort of like been in the form that he started, but it's been 2 games. You know, this guy's just dangerous. He's getting on a bit. He's dangerous. I mean, Ekatike,
Yeah, I
we were
think
actually we was actually linked with him, and there was a lot of people on Twitter saying, "Oh, Arsenal should look at this guy." Then they were gutted. Obviously Newcastle. Then they were hijacked. Liverpool just come along. We're having him. Yeah, he's a danger man, Tone. Salah, you can never write off. I think obviously you got Gabriel, and I would we'll come to that. We'll come to who's going to be handling him. But that left hand side of our defence is vital, Tone. On the left hand side as well, Gakpo is always good for a goal, and that's one thing where again we have to be. You will come to that, but I think we have to be strong in how we set up. Without Ben White, obviously, I would say it's more of a defensive. Again, I'll come back to that, but yeah, I think them three up front, and let's not forget that Gravenberch and McAllister for midfield. You got, if I can pronounce it right, and I apologise if not, but Szoboszlai, the Hungarian. I think he will play because Liverpool have apparently got an injury crisis at right back. No one says anything, but if Mikel Arteta was to mention that,
yeah.
he'd get absolutely rinsed.
I
Um,
think
they
just to
got
throw it
no.
out there. Sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt you. Before you continue, so Liverpool's injury news is McAllister is being assessed for tomorrow's game. Lambiel probably will start
it
because
will start.
and
Yeah,
against us.
it's
And then
mind games time.
Frimpong, their right back, has been ruled out with his fixture.
Yeah, I think what you're looking at. That's why I say obviously if McAllister's fit, they'll be looking at that. Obviously they've got Endo in there as well, but I think more so he'll be wanting to go for Gravenberch. If he can fit in them, McAllister, Curtis Jones as well normally starts in the middle for him, but I think he last time he played at right back,
Yeah,
so I think obviously their back line will pick itself. And if he's going to take Curtis Jones, so you'll have Kirkes, Canate, Van Dijk, and Allison. And obviously, if he hasn't got a right back, he goes for them. If Gomez is fit, would he risk Gomez or put him in? He's obviously coming back, and you could see Curtis Jones in the midfield. He'll be wanting to play the mind games in the same way as Arteta Tone, but we'll come to what we the match thing in your next. I'll pass over to you. Sorry, but yeah, there's a lot of gamesmanship going on at the moment, Tone, and I think you'll find a
always
lot
is.
of players will start that you don't think.
Yeah. Um, uh, my take on it is I agree. Ekatike is going to be one to watch. 2 in 2, 1 assist. He's expected goals XG is 1.3.
Mm.
So he's averaging a goal a game at the moment. I know it's only 2 games, but he scored in the Charity Shield in the first 3 minutes
Yeah,
to Crystal Palace. He's proven that he is a good striker and he can punish you very quickly. Um, I'm confident that he ain't come up against a defense like ours yet. So
yeah,
that's the interesting one for me. But
yeah.
I think where this game is going to be lost and won for us is in the midfield. So
Big
Graham
stuff.
McAllister, Szoboszlai, they're a good outfit in that midfield.
Yeah,
And it would be a good test for Zubimendi. Now I'm a bit worried now because
mm.
Zubimendi struggled at Old Trafford, and
Yeah,
Liverpool at Anfield is going to be no easier. If anything, it's going to be more of a challenge for him. So I don't think you're going to have the time to adjust to the game. He's going to have to adjust very quickly, and yeah, it's got that's why for me it's going to be lost or won in that midfield, and I think we need to take a stump on it, and we need to get the ball down and start playing our football. If we don't, we do what we did against Man United. We can't. We got to a point where we couldn't put 3 passes together. So a performance like that. we're going to be in trouble very quickly. So we need to take control of the game and move through our paces very quickly and move the ball a lot quicker than we have been against
Mm,
Leeds. The first 30 minutes, we can't do that against Liverpool.
yeah,
So that's my take on it. So, but we can wait and see. Some more stats for you.
yeah,
The last time, but let's have a little game, Wayne. Um, I know I told you this off air, so it's probably not a game for you, but let's see if you remember. When was the last time we won at Anfield?
yeah. So that was almost this time, 2012, I'd say September 2012.
Yeah,
Yeah,
2012. Can you remember who scored the goals?
yeah. Well, it's one of my favourite
I
players,
didn't tell
mate,
you this off air. No.
Santi Cazorla. And I think Lucas Podolski as well. One thing I want to chuck in there for those who like a bit of nostalgia, and it's one of those games I thought to myself, thank God he's going to be back here, this kid. And it was Abu Diaby absolutely bossed the midfield that game.
Remember that? Yeah.
And then we lost him, and that was it. Again, you just thought it's the second he's here. He was fantastic that game. That was a fantastic game to watch. Actually, I thought we were very good tactically. We were good at the start of that season. And yeah, Abu Diaby in the midfield, mate, was something else. It was him and Arteta in the midfield, actually. So but yeah, I do remember it. I remember it well, matey. And seeing
Good day.
a little Spanish magician put his goal in. I don't think it was his first goal. I can't remember. Maybe it was for the club. I think it was, and that really, I jumped up the bit extra vump. Yeah. Listen, mate, we're long overdue. It's been 13 years.
13 years.
Um,
Yeah.
13 years almost, and yeah, mate. If you're gonna win or have aims to win the Premier League, you have to beat teams like Liverpool, or you have to do it. If you remember rightly, when we went unbeaten, bar Man United, where we scraped through our teeth again with Van Nistelrooy's last minute penalty, we beat Liverpool away, we beat Chelsea away. I think we beat Man City, but Man City weren't obviously what they got now of all the financial things. But the top teams, the top three or four teams, other than Man United, we went away and we won. Champions or champions elect or whatever you want to call, us. We need to go to Anfield with that confidence to say, look, we're going to win. And I'm going to come to it, but I think that this is the time, Tone. Personally, mate, I really do. They may have a fantastic starting 11. They may sign Isaac. They're looking at Mark Gahey, according to news broke
Yeah.
last night, early this morning. They put a bid in. I
Yeah.
get it. They've improved their champions. They would deserve champions. We were poor. City were poor. Other teams around were just plodding along. But I think you can get at them, Tone. And I think we have an overall better depth than Liverpool. What you got to watch out for is their danger men are top level. So
They'll
yeah,
punish us. They'll punish
yeah,
us if we're not careful.
yeah. So yeah, we'll move on to that anyway, matey. But yeah, it's a good stat, mate. It's been long overdue. We've got to go.
Yeah, I mean, the last couple of games have been draws, so we're going in the right direction. I know, obviously,
Yeah,
a draw is not a win, but going away to Anfield for any team is a difficult game, and with I think a bit like Old Trafford, really. I think there's always been history there where we go there. We've been battered there in the past, right? And I
yeah.
think there's a certain mindset as a club. When we go to these grounds, that yes, we're fully capable of beating Liverpool, but at the same time, there's still a little bit of confidence there. So I'm hoping that we go there and a win there, Wayne, would set a precedent for the rest of the season. We're going to
It's a
send a
good fun.
message to everyone if we beat Liverpool at Anfield tomorrow,
Yeah,
which I think we're quite capable of doing. But again, it all depends how we start. And going based on our last couple of starts, that's where I'm a bit worried because
I
if
get that.
we have a shit start, we could see ourselves 1-2 nil down very
Yeah,
quickly.
yeah,
So we've got to start strong. We've got to start
yeah.
strong. With move move on to right. I want to bring this up, right, because I see it and I'm like, "Oh, for fuck's sake. Um, Chris Kavanagh is the ref, right? And that absolute knobhead. right,
Yeah,
was the situation where he sent Rice off for kicking the ball away.
yeah,
Or I won't even say kicking the ball, he just fucking touched the ball and he got booted himself. Yeah, and sent him off.
yeah,
Uh, I'm gonna be. I think tomorrow's one of them games where you need a strong ref. You're at Anfield, they're gonna be loud. I
yeah.
don't want him to be persuaded by the crowd, and we've noticed that a little bit. Old Trafford, the ref sort of
The
shit.
ref, he was properly
Xhaka was
swayed.
getting rugby tackled in the corner by a Delit, right? And you've got so what I don't want because Van Dijk, right? I'm going to say he's a
He
good
gets away
defender,
with so much
but
time.
he's a dirty bastard when he
Yeah.
wants to be, right?
He is. Oh,
Um, and I feel like he can. Was Chris Kavanagh refereeing the game at the Emirates where we drew 2-2 again in that one?
I'm not sure, but that same game you're talking
Because
about, when did you see when he was kicking out at Havertz and
yeah,
he
he
was
kicked
kicking
out
and kicking
Havertz
and
and was let
kicking,
go. So
and then he's looking at the ref. I don't know what it is and what that guy has over these refs, matey. But honest to God, yeah, to be listen. If you want me to be not well, bluntly honest, I'd say yeah, you're a great defender, mate, but you're an absolute prick. I
yeah,
don't like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
I've got a sporting respect for him in terms of defending and whatever, but I just think to myself, you get away with so much, and if you're actually punished for the stuff you've done, and you do, and you get away with, yeah, Liverpool would have been struggling last year. They may still have won the title, mate, but they would have won it by a lot less bloody
yeah,
points. But him kicking Havertz and all that, and he's done. It's not just us; he does it against, but he just seems to get away with stuff.
yeah.
You know, and it can't keep going on, time. The problem is when you got these referees, the PGMO, they're just they're just ruining the game.
Well, I mean, look,
They're ruining the game. I love Arsenal. I
yeah,
love my football club, but I can't. The Premier League, the quality because of the referees, Tone, they're bringing it down. And you got a referee like Kavanagh. What's going to happen, Tone, tomorrow if something happens? Someone's on a yellow card. I dread to
it,
think.
yeah,
Honestly, he's going to take it as an opportunity, mate. Believe you
yeah.
me, he will.
When I see the name, I was like, oh, God's sake, because the game's stressful as it is, right?
Yeah,
There's two good teams going at it. Arsenal, as Arsenal, we want to win, right? So that you're gonna be sitting there. You know, I'm gonna have no nails left tomorrow probably, but you're gonna have a ref like that that's literally gonna be strong armed by the Anfield crowd.
yeah.
And I've yeah, what I don't want tomorrow is me and you coming on doing a reaction video and literally saying the ref's a dickhead, right? I
Yeah,
don't want to talk about the ref tomorrow. I'm talking about it because I know for some reason these refs want to make it about them,
it's always,
and it's a
yeah,
big fixture.
always,
And I could just see him making an absolute stupid decision. I could give
yeah,
him a penalty that's not a penalty, giving a red card that's not a red card. I just hope and pray that this refs the game to the best of his ability and fairly. That's
mm,
all I'm asking for. I know it's not going to happen. Um, but yeah, let's hope that's one of my hopes tomorrow is that we're sitting here on a reaction video, not talking about his fucking ref. But
yeah.
I can already tell you now that we're probably going to be.
I think so. I think it'll be mentioned at some point, so
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah. So anyway, moving on. Let's not give this ref all our
Any
airtime.
more airtime? Yeah,
But yeah, that's one I noticed, and I was like, oh, fucking hell, here we go. But yeah, look, let's move on to predicted 11. So
yeah,
let's start with our goalkeeper.
yeah. So obviously it's got to be David Raya, matey.
There you go. Yeah,
Again, I
been
think that
brilliant.
he is. He's. I mean, he's got a lot of stick from certain. He gets from certain amount of fans, but I just think to myself, he's a solid keeper, mate. I think one of them as well. It's you feel a little bit sorry for a keeper like Kepa because obviously he has played last year, but I think the depth at goalkeeper is very strong, dude. And it'd be nice to see obviously Kepa get a game in the League Cup, which he will do next month. So yeah, mate, it's obviously a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Solid keeper, mate, and yeah, yeah, I think he's obviously going to be the choice in the league every game.
Yeah, I think that he's had a good start to the season. I just hope that he does get us playing from the back. So I'm just
Mm,
hoping that. But then I think against Old Trafford there was a few occasions where it put us in a little bit of trouble.
mm.
So hopefully, yeah,
He was vastly improved. It's obviously a tough. It's going to be tough fixtures.
Yeah, we're going to be. They're going to
Excuse
be.
me. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right. I think the the closing down is going to be very strong for Liverpool from the start. They're going to.
yeah. That's
I
the
think we've
energy
got.
up front, Tone. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what he's got to be. He's got to be on
I
his
think.
game.
Yeah, I think we're going to have the first 20 minutes. We've just got to get out of the first 20 minutes, and I think that we'll start
But
settling down.
once we start to set, we can set it to our tempo. But they'll come out the traps
They'll
because
come
it's
out of traps. Yeah,
Anfield. So that's what we've got to be careful of that. That's the most important part of the match, I'd say, dude.
yeah,
20, 25
yeah.
minutes.
Out of the press. We need to break that press very quickly. I think as soon as we
Yeah.
do that, then they've got to start thinking about it.
Yeah, you can get at them from the midfield, mate. You let them close you down, but once you can break, you can get at them, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just absorbing that pressure you're gonna get. It's inevitable at Anfield.
yeah. Let's go from right to left. We'll go left to right. Let's go right to left tonight.
Yeah.
No brainer for me. Timber goes in there.
Yeah, no arguments, mate. I think obviously again with Benny White, it's obviously a niggling injury. I still think I still think obviously it's a safe. I think Timber is not much better. The difference between the two is I think it's a stronger defender, stronger one-on-one defender.
Yeah,
If he's got Gakpo, I think Timber's one of those defenders that can put any left winger in the world in his pocket. You might have a chance or two, like I said when we played PSG with that the Georgian fella. I'm not saying his name, but yeah, he'll have a few moments, but he will figure you out, and he will put any left winger in my opinion, any left winger in the world in his pocket because he's a quality defender. When he's just got to wrap him up in cotton wool this season, Tone, and keep him fit because he's a fantastic defender, mate. I love him.
yeah. Um, I think it's fair to say the two centre halves pick themselves.
Yeah, no debate there, mate. He's fully fit. They got to
David
start.
Gabriel goes straight
Their
in there.
partnership is
Yeah,
they get on the pitch and off the pitch as well. Got a great rapport by if you have a look at all sort of like the media from Arsenal what they release. But yeah, they're fantastic, mate. They're absolute two worldies. Um,
I think we need two big games from them. Though. They need to be solid. No mistakes.
yeah, Saliba had a bit of a rocky, in my
Yeah,
opinion. I think obviously Gabriel coming back. I think Saliba out of the two was a bit more rockier to me. But I think we have to watch the level we set it at with Saliba. I mean, because I think the guy's borderline world class in centre half terms. He's going to overtake Van Dijk in my opinion. So we've got to keep our feet on the ground with him and still realise that the lad is not sort of like at peak level still, and still learning certain stuff, certain things. He's going to have a rick or two, but he's one of them footballers, Tone. That it's not like he's a Mustafi. Mustafi had a rick, and it was a costly rick. This guy has a rick, but he recovers. Do you know what I mean? Or something happened. He doesn't. He's a smart operator, and we got to temper that. But yeah, it picks itself, mate. You can't, especially at Anfield. You need them too.
so I've left back on purpose because I feel like it's an interesting one at left back. I think he's going to go with Calafiori, but there's also an argument for Skelly to go in there. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I know, mate. I mean, it's so tough. It's tough, but what I would say to you is again, I mean, Calafiori can have moments. I mean, I personally think for the future, especially with this fella coming in, Hincapié, is obviously looking more so like a centre back, but one who, when he plays on the left, he's marauding more so than Calafiori. But Calafiori drifts in. He can be a centre forward one time. He'll drift back.
Yeah,
I
I'd look
still,
at
I think he's going to go for again that back line of Calafiori, uh, Gabriel, Saliba, and Timber
yeah.
to shut down their wingers. Again, it's not slight on Skelly. I just
I,
think that's what you might just for the
I think that he should go with Calafiori, but I've got a feeling he's going to go with Skelly. And I'll tell you why, because of my favourite thing, the inverted
your invert. He
midfield.
wants he wants to add him. He
So
wants to add Timber. Skelly into the midfield with Rice and
because
Zubi.
Liverpool break the lines through their midfield very quickly, so I
Yeah.
think he's going to want
Could be a good
Skelly in
could be a
there.
good shout,
I
Tone.
think,
I like
and then
Calafiori. He's more solid for me, but I get what you're saying. He could want to overload the midfield a bit more.
the only
Uh,
problem you're going to have is you don't need to like Salah is
it's Salah. That's my
can't leave
worry.
him on his own. So
No.
I'm going to be really intrigued to watch how that goes
Yeah.
on our left side.
So what do you want to go for as an agreed one, my friend? What you
I
going to go
think
for?
I think Calafiori
Yeah.
is probably
Yeah.
the safest
I
bet,
think he's going to go for this. I think he'll go for the safer bet,
but
but I
don't
think
be surprised.
it's one of it. Yeah, it could be the surprise one. what we'll do, guys, is me and Tony will put that down as a Calafiori, but I think put it as a question mark because
I think so. Yeah,
Mikel can surprise you at any moment, and you could have Lewis Skelly for that exact thing you've just said, Tony.
yeah. All right, into midfield. Back four, goalkeeper sorted. Who starts on the right? Saka injured.
And oh yes, with Saka injured, mate, and your bestie. But yeah, I think you've seen obviously in Leeds that this guy obviously still not fully fit. He was at the Club World Cup with Chelsea, but I think for me it's a no-brainer with Noni at right wing. That's what we brought him in for
Yeah,
moments like this, and I think as well I want to flag up, which I said to you off air, I want to flag it up on air that I think that Noni can get at Kirkes, and he did it last year, and I think that could be a weakness as well. I don't think he's as strong as Robertson, and obviously they're looking to get him in to be a replacement. But don't be surprised that if Noni Madueke starting, that maybe Robertson starts for him tomorrow in terms of going for experience because he's thinking, he had him on toast last year, sort of thing for Bournemouth. So yeah, but Noni Madueke for me, Tone, on the right wing, definitely. I think he's got a point
yeah.
to prove, matey. So yeah, I'm happy with that, and I think the boys going to prove some things to people.
I'm inclined to agree with you.
Mm.
Look, he done a good job against Leeds, right?
Mm.
But then it's Leeds, right? This so if I'm
I agree with that. Fair point. Yeah.
yeah, if I was to say to Madueke, tomorrow is your opportunity. It's an opportunity for you to, as a player, right? You want to, as we said it before, having a big squad. One, you should be sitting there thinking, do you know what? Saka's one of the best wingers in the world. But do you know what? I'm
Yeah.
going to try and keep him out of this team. I'm going to
Of
give Arteta
course,
an
man.
excuse not to drop me.
Yeah.
So I would say opportunities where you get to Liverpool, take your chances. Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see what happens. Again, I hope I'm not in here tomorrow going, oh, what a donkey of a performance. So
Yeah.
let's see what happens there.
Yeah,
So
we'll keep
agree
our
with you,
fingers crossed.
Madueke on the right.
I think he might surprise people. I think so. I think but let's
Let-
let's hope so. Let's
There's
hope.
there's there's hope. There's hope
Yeah,
there, mate. There's
there's
hope.
only hope. There's only hope in there.
I think the two central midfielders pick themselves. So we got Declan
Yeah, just
and Mendy.
like the centre half tone, fully fit day for me. You have to start. Obviously, different game states can dictate certain things, but I think the way we're going to play, and obviously with Eze in the team and stuff like that, I think the way he wants to set up his team, tone will, he them two as a double pivot. One goes, one stays. Mendy is just one of those players. He's like a puzzle piece. And he will just slot in. I know, obviously, you said about him being earlier in the video about him obviously not having a fantastic game at Old Trafford. Let's see because he obviously had a bit of a sickness bug or whatever it was. Let's see how he is, where he's got over that. He's had another game. He's had another week of training under his belt. I think this guy's an intelligent footballer, Tone. So let's have a look. But they pick themselves. That's the point. They pick themselves them two at the moment.
Yeah, and I think a big game from Rice breaking that number eight,
We
breaking
need
forward. He's gonna need them
100%.
ones tomorrow.
He
Definitely.
is he's vitally important
Yeah.
to get anything away from Anfield. He has to be on his game. He's
Yeah. I think he
definitely
needs to get Gravenberg thinking about going the other way, not just
exactly, and not allowing him time and space. The boy's got a gold in him, so Declan Rice has got an important job on tomorrow, matey.
yeah. Um, the question mark in centre attacking midfield. So
Yes,
um,
this is a difficult one there, mate. This I didn't
I,
want to I
I
didn't want
think
to come to this bit, but we'll have to decide. Go
I
for it.
think the skipper comes in for me. I think he's good.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's. Sorry, Tone, to interject.
Go for it. Yeah.
I just want to make my point that that's where this is where I struggle with. Because I just want to quickly say, and I'll let you carry on. But I'll say if Erdegaard is fit, he has to start. If he's 75-80% fit, he has to start in that central attacking role. If he doesn't, and now this is what I want to say to you, and whether you agree, but my what I can't work out because again I don't know if Trossard might not be 100%. You're going to have to go if he's still, there's rumours or whatever about Martinelli. We won't go into that. He's an Arsenal player. I'm not an advocate to say I want him to go, but if the boy wants to go for game time, we have to understand that. But I would say you'd have to potentially, if Erdegaard can't make it, you've got to look at Eze in the number 10, and I think the only one on the left you'd have to go for Martinelli. obviously in terms of getting at whether he's going to be, but I just think that's where I don't know what you think about it, dude. But I would play Eze if the captain's fit on the left coming in. I would start him.
Yeah.
I think with Erdegaard, he can lead that press. And like you said, you have to give Eze a certain, he can defend Tone, but he also has a free role. But that's what I say to you, mate. If the captain's not fit, then I've got a major problem with who I would start at left wing. So I just want to pass that on to you. If the captain's
No,
not
I
fit,
agree.
what did you think? I personally think in terms of obviously Saka not being there, Madueke not being able to fit on the left wing. I think Martinelli has not really started. He only had a great pre-season. I mean, I think he's had an assist from a corner in the pre-season game, but he's ability to take on. But he seems to have something for Liverpool. That's why I want to put him in. So what I want to say is, if you're going to look at it, I would put Eze, Erdegaard, and Madueke as our three attacking further like midfielders. If the captain don't make it, I think you've got to put a Martinelli on there with Eze behind Gyökeres, mate. Which obviously we come to that, but that's
Yeah.
obviously he's
Yeah.
only fit striker. But I
Yeah.
just would you
No,
agree with that, Tone?
yeah, I would agree. I would say that if Odegaard's not fit, Eze would. I mean, that's why we bought him, right? We bought him as a backup attacking midfielder.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'd be inclined to think that if Odegaard wasn't fit, now this is something I'm going to throw at you now as well. If Odegaard isn't fit, I've
Mm.
got a massive feeling Arteta throws in Wanyeru and
Oh,
on the
you
left.
you are literally speaking what's in there.
So
I just
that's
want
all
people to
three
say
there, right?
I love Wanyeri. I'm just, yeah. To be fair, that is a good shout as well. You know what? I was thinking that in terms of that because I think obviously playing at number 10 role tone, I think Eze is going to have to learn it more from the left. And all due respect to Martinelli, because he's had times when he's been absolutely brilliant for us, but his last 2 years, his form hasn't been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
If you've got an Eze there, it wouldn't make much difference if you know what I mean. If Eze don't have a great game, the only thing we're going to have is people on Twitter. But we've got a Martinelli who's not is out of sorts. 1 year it could be a surprise package. You know what that could be one to chuck in there. Yeah, yeah, that's it, mate. That's a good shout. I was just worried. What it is, why I say that is I'm just a little bit worried again. Obviously, with Anfield, I think the boy needs again to he's had his first year last year, sort of integrating into the team, and I still think he's got a bit more room to grow. And it's one of them where you could bring him on or whatever. But listen, captain's not in. He is a number 10, you know, and you could give Eze a roaming role, or it could be a case of, if you look at it, Tone, in the 1 year he has played on the right. Noni Madueke can shift to the left, and Eze at the 10, you could shift them. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, Madueke won't play as a 10, but if it could be something along those lines. But I think he's going to obviously look at trying to get Madueke at their left wing, left back. Sorry. Yeah, no, that's a good shout. The only reason I look at it, Tony, is I'm just worried about chucking an 18-year-old kiddie into a early title,
yeah,
game. That's the only reason. But listen, you're not going to learn if you're not going to get chucked in. Cesc Fabregas got chucked in, and Wenger said, "Off you go. I think you're quality. Go for it." A 17-year-old kid, and we know how that worked out. I mean, obviously, in the future, it's not a point revisiting old wounds, but at the time, he was young, and we were like Jesus. But this kid, I just think, is a little bit. Sometimes, Tony, the physicality of the game gets to him. Martinelli, as much as he can struggle at times, he knows the Premier League more than Wanyeri,
yeah,
Eze does, and also Madueke. I just think sometimes he gets a bit overawed with that physical battle, if you like. But yeah, in terms of number 10, yeah, but I just think I wouldn't want him to lose confidence when he has a 60, 70 minutes and he's not really getting the chance. You know what I mean? Gravenberch is on the ball, Callister's on his back, nipping at his heels. He hasn't quite, you know what I mean? I want this lad needs to be built up with his confidence. But again, as you just said with Skelly, this is Arteta.
yeah.
So there are academy prospects. I think they're fantastic prospects. Who knows, Tone? But I would go for the safer bet. That's my safer bet. If he goes for it with Wanyeri, fair play, 100%.
Yeah, no, definitely. And then obviously, I think the striker picks itself.
Moreno again.
Bruno goes up front,
Sorry, guys, last
along
one.
with Trossard. No, no,
Yeah,
Gyökeres,
yeah.
anyway. Fair play to him. He got his 2 goals against Leeds. That's good.
It's a
That's another
tougher one
goal
for a
in the
minute, Tony.
so,
It's a tougher one, mate. People are going to say again if he has another quiet one. You're playing one of the dirtiest, but also one of the best Premier League defenders you've had. You know,
yeah, but I think he'll be up for that. I think from what I've seen of him,
physical battle.
I
Yeah.
don't think he minds being scruffed up. I
Oh,
think he wants it.
Van Dijk won't have it all his own way against
No,
Joker.
he will. He's a strong lad as well.
Yeah.
He's not fat. He gets
I
he
don't
gets all this
understand where that
strong
comes
man.
from, Tone. I
He's
really
chubby,
don't.
mate. I mean, as a heterosexual man, I've seen him with his top off, man. He's ripped. There's not a bit of fat on
Yeah.
that guy,
You know
honestly.
what I want to liken that to, Tone? And listen, I'm not. Please don't. I don't want people to misquote what I'm saying here.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm not comparing him to Ronaldo, number nine, not Cristiano, the Brazilian one.
yeah.
Like Adriano. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they were
Uh,
big, built
you
guys,
know,
weren't they?
you're big guys. People could have put themselves around, and they were strong. And someone as well said online, which I have to agree with, is like he just is like that number nine, that brute number nine. And it's like they should be coming back because you got like the Havertz, the tall one. Like Ekatike is technically good. He's been putting the ball in the back of the net. He's a good finisher. We can see that. You're like Jesus.
Mm.
But he's a tall lad. He's not built. Gyökeres has just worked on his physique. He's just a big hulking centre
Yeah,
forward
yeah,
that you used to have. But
yeah.
yeah, I'm not saying he's on the level of Ronaldo. Please, not. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying look at the physiques of them players. Do you know what I mean? Like Carlos Tevez. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? That physique, these players that are just non-stop run. They got the physique. They can run. They're strong lads, and that he's going to give. I'm hoping he's
I
going
think
to
he's going to give it him
give
and
him a
Canate and
bloody
Van
good
Dijk.
game, son. And
I'm
then
going to have an
Ezra's
easy
going to
after
come
that.
in,
Yeah.
and I'm going to come to our score in a minute, and I'm going to tell you what's going to happen, Tone. So you carry on, but
Well,
I'll
no,
come to
no, that's it. So
that.
yeah, Gyökeres up front. Yeah, hopefully, Canate and Van Dijk are shitting their pants because he's got 2 and 2 as well. So same as he started off really well. So let's see how we get on. But yeah,
Yep.
before we wrap it up, let's get the predicted scores. So Wayne, what are you going for?
I'm going for, as I said off air, and I'm going to stick to it, matey. I'm going to give you the scorers as well. Okay,
Well then, yeah.
it's 2-1 to the Arsenal. It's Gyökeres and Eze for us, and I think Ekatike is going to get a goal back. I don't know when. I don't know if it's going to be 1-0 and we nick it at 2-1, but it's 2-1 Arsenal, Tone, and they're your scorers.
Are you having that dream where we're like a Newcastle game where we get 11 minutes added on time? No, I don't think Kavanagh's going to give us 11 minutes added on, mate.
No, you know what the thing about tomorrow with that kind of referee, mate, is we have to make it about us,
Yeah.
and that means score a
Yeah.
goal,
Don't
or make the opportunities legit that PGMO, VAR,
they can't influence.
and what's his name? Oh, the bald bloke, the bald idiot who's running
Oh,
it. I can't remember his name because he's not worth remembering in fairness, but he's ruining football anyway. But don't give him an opportunity to be on the phone. Do you remember when he was on the phone in the Bournemouth game and
yeah.
the camera shot to him? Like,
That's
let's not
really
give.
going to bug me now because I can see his face, but I can't say his name.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because he's not worth remembering anyway. But he's
Yeah.
just he's old. The man. He's the main sort of thing. But I'm not saying he's going to be there tomorrow, Tone. I'm just saying let's not give anything to them. Let's not make it again. Let's say it's like it finishes 1-1, finishes 2-1. We
Yeah.
had a moment, and then all you're going to get is Arsenal fans are going about the ref again. Let's not make it about the ref. That is the
Yeah.
main thing. Last year, my main complaint was, listen, when we were drawing silly games and should have won this, should have won that. Oh, the ref. Don't make it about the referee making mistakes. Do it yourself, get the result, and go from there. But I'm still saying it's 2-1. But I'm just saying make it, do the business yourself. Don't let that referee
So,
ruin the game or
yeah.
have a moment you regret. We got the players now, Tony, in my opinion, and it would be much better if we could go there with Saka and Havertz fully fit. But yeah, I'm going 2-1 still.
My prediction, I'm gonna go for a 2-all draw. I just don't
Yeah.
see. Um, I think, as I said, the key battle's going to be in the midfield, but also keeping them out. And they've got a dangerous attacking
Yeah.
force. So, and it's Anfield. We don't get going for
It's
the
vitally
only
important that start.
yeah. I think 2 years ago was the best I see us play at Anfield, where we were 2-0 up very quickly,
I thought,
absolutely ruining
Tone, I
everyone.
really thought we was going to do it. Sorry to
Yeah.
interject. I just thought we was going to do it. I was going to bring that up earlier, but that's the best I've seen us play for a while.
So yeah, we
Again,
need
we
that.
got, you know,
I think if he does start, I need to start strong, get some tidy passes going, just move the ball quicker.
yeah.
If you're moving the ball slowly, which we're doing against Leeds, it's gonna be Liverpool is gonna eat us up with the
Yeah,
press.
no,
So
no, that's it, mate.
um,
They're good at that. They will. They've got the players. They've got a lot of players to hurt you, mate. So it's vitally important, dude.
yeah,
Soak it up, and then you dishearten. But you can get at their defense, in my opinion. You can. They've been shit defensively. You
yeah, they
know,
have, yeah,
start of the season. You know, these are the champions, and normally if you're champions, you're defending and you're great. But they've let 4 goals in already. You know, got away with it again. What it is with them. And what it could be the thing is like you've just said that 2-all, it could end up being 2-1 to us. And these jammy effers are going to they always seem to pull something out of there, but you can't live off of that for the majority of the season, Tone.
yeah,
You're going to come unstuck. I just want us to put a statement down, because in my opinion, if we had our players fully fit last year, we would have been a better team than them.
yeah,
I still think we were missing a number 9, but just, you know what I mean? We would have been closer. Instead of having to rely on bloody Raheem Sterling and having Marino up front, who's a midfielder. So let's go at them. We haven't got 2 of our main players in Havertz and Saka, but we've still got them players now. Bert has brought them in. He's done a fantastic job. Let's go at them, Tone. That's what I'll leave it on. Let's go at them. Don't be afraid. And I'm still going to stick with that 2-1. Just go for it. That's all we need to do.
cool,
We're one of the best defenses in the Prem. So that's not an understatement.
cool. All right, we'll leave that as your final statement.
Yes.
Hopefully you're right that it's going to be 2-1.
Get at them.
Um, cool. Well, yeah, thank you for tuning and watching. We'll be live. Well, won't be live tomorrow. We'll be recording a reaction video tomorrow.
Yeah.
Straight after the game. So look out for that. But yeah, please, thank you for watching our channel as always. Please like and subscribe and leave us your comments and what your thoughts are. Have a good evening, guys. Take care.
Good guys. Take care.